Hi guys and welcome to the Vice Fly's YouTube channel. This is the Fly Tying for Beginners series. Let's jump right into it. Hi guys and welcome back to the Fly Tying for Beginners series. Today we're going to be tying a really effective nymph pattern, a Diawl Back, the red holographic version. And this is a really effective fly to have in any trout fishing box, whether for brown trout or rainbow trout. What you're going to need today is a simple fire orange uni 80 thread, your medium red holographic, some sort of goose bites, anything that you've got to hand that you're going to use for the cheeks. I'm using sunburst orange goose bites today. You can use an array of colours, anything that you like really. Some sort of cock hackle, so I'm going to be using a ginger cock hackle. This is the traditional hackle that you would use for the tail and the beard. And then some form of varnish, and that's all the fly. The hook that we're using today is a B175 size 10. This is going to be a slightly larger version. I would recommend tying it on a larger hook and then working down, because this is a really effective pattern on size 12 and size 14 as well. So you're just going to start off by laying down a bed of the thread all the way down to the point of the hook. Now that is going to be the rough length of the body, and this is where we're going to start the tail and work our body up to just in front. Maybe one more turn in front of that. So now we're just going to pinch a section of cock hackle off. You want to take it from quite the thick fibres here in the middle section of your feather. And this is where you're going to want to use one of the larger feathers on your cape. And you just pinch like so, take them up and pinch them off. Round about that section there, I'm just straightening them up. Try and keep them all in line so that you've got a nice straight tail fibres. Then just roll that in your hand to get them all on top of each other. And then if you feel like they're a bit of a squint, try and roll them in your fingers to make them straight, like so. Now we're going to make this tail the same length as the body, so round about that length. Then just pop that on top. One loose turn to lock it in place, making sure it's on top of the fly. There we go. Now we're going to tie in our top layer, so it's going to be the red holographic. Medium is what I'm using today. I like few turns with quite a lot of red poking out, because it is quite a bright fly version that I'm doing. You can do the Diawl Back in a much more natural setting if you're going to be fishing for wild fish or just trying to imitate the more natural methods. I like to have at least one version that's got a hot head on it, something for the fish to really attack. So just lock in your red holographic, and now we're going to lock in 2 strands. Because this is a size 10, we want to have quite a thick chunky body, so I'm going to tie in 2 Peacock hearl feathers. Now you're going to want to tie them in at the base like this. If you do have really long feathers like this and the bottom is very stiff, you want to try and come up to the slightly softer material here that's more pliable. That's actually going to give you a better shape of the body, those fibres there. So just cut off the stalks if you don't need them, come up to the more pliable stuff and tie that in as your body. Then just simply wind all of that down, try and keep it neat, as this is where your body's going to be. And we're going to try and taper this body, so build up a little bit of thread towards the front of that body, because you don't want the body to have that kind of hump in it where your materials have built up there. So just build up and taper off that body towards the top, because this is quite a large fly. Now we can actually bring our peacock hearl over, just pull them together like so, and then be very gentle when you're coming over the top. Touch and turns all the way up. One of them's came loose there, so just grab that back in. I'm going to try and pull that up together. Don't worry about that. I will try and show you as much as I can the mistakes that are quite common because it's important when you're beginning to tie flies that if you make a mistake, don't panic. Just try and work your way around it. There is always a way to work around a thread snapping or dropping the peacock hearl or dropping the hackle. It's important to be able to learn those things. So just pull them off once you've secured them in. Now you're going to bring over your red holographic, making sure you don't lop this tail down. As you can see, sometimes it's got the tendency to pull on top of that like this and make the tail point down. You can want to make sure that you're not doing that. You can often do that by coming over this way. I like to rib against myself by going this way, so just do it however much you like, making sure to not come over that tail. Quite wide open turns, letting that peacock hearl really come through. And then just tie off once you get to the top. Try and keep it as neat as possible. Making sure that you don't have any slides like that. Yeah, that's fine. Then just tie off at the head there. And then we're going to be able to do our beard for the Diawl Back. That's fine, that body side. Now the beard's the most difficult part of the Diawl Back, and it's really important to take your time so that you can get the beard sitting exactly where you want it to be. So you're going to pull off the same amount of cock hackle that you did for the tail. Really have that sitting fine and straight, just like we did for the tail. You can use slightly less for the beard. I like to have quite a bushy beard, as it's one of the elements that really makes a fly stand out to fish, because this beard imitates the wing cover that comes off of a lot of chironomids under the water, and imitates a whole bunch of different stages of flies hatching off. That is why the Diawl Back is so effective. So once you've got your beard fibres in place in your hand, you're actually going to want to turn the hook upside down, hold in your thread, get your beard where you want it to sit. I want it to sit right about there. Now hold this in place with your other hand and give one loose turn. If you can pinch it, one loose turn, and just trap that right underneath the head. Now one other turn. Yep, that's sitting where I want it to be. Come back over. And now you can lock it in place slightly more. Now that that's locked in place, you're just going to take your scissors, come down to as close as you can, and take away those feathers, the end of those cock feathers. Now come in front of them, try to pull those back. Now we're going to build up a slight head here. Now there is a few fibres that are sticking out the front there. Make sure to catch those as small as you can, and then pull them back to keep your eye nice and tidy. And now we're going to tie in our cheeks. Now the cheeks that we're using today are just simple gooseback cheeks. It's more popular to use jungle cock as the cheeks for this pattern. Now the reason that I like goosebites, again, I've said this in previous videos, is for beginners it's really easy to manipulate goosebites compared to jungle cock, and jungle cock's quite expensive, so it's one of the materials that you really want to use when you're more effective at tying. So with the goosebite cheeks, you're just simply going to want to cut off. Now I like my cheeks quite thick, so I'm going to cut off a little bit more than that to make it thicker. Just cut it off at an angle. Makes it sit a bit more natural on the fly. And you're going to want it coming up about half the way of the length of the body. Just lock that in, 2 turns. You want to have nice tight turns when you're locking in the goosebite, so those are the turns that are actually going to keep the goosebite there when you're tearing off the ends. Again, cut off the top end of the goosebite. Set it on the other side, the same length, make sure that you've got the same length on either side. 2 tight turns, and then make sure that you cover up the head. You can create a hothead as large or as small as you like. Normally I like to keep most of my hotheads on my Diawl Backs around about this size, which is kind of medium, halfway between being an attraction and being tiny, just an amount of thread at the top of the fly. Now that you've got your cheeks on, have a look, make sure that you've got it in place where you want it. Now we can whip finish and varnish the head of the fly. And then cut off the excess. And varnish. The varnish that I'm using today is just simple serum varnish. Make sure you cover all of that whip finish area. And to clean out the eye, pull through the rest of that Peacock hearl. You can do this 2 times once you've done your second coat of varnish, and that cleans out the eye completely. And there is the full red holographic Diawl Back pattern. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give us a like and make sure to subscribe if you want to see more content. We'd love to hear from you, so please leave us a comment telling us what you think and what patterns you'd like to see. See you in the next video.